Hey everybody, how you going, War Gamers? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steve, and we're coming back at you with another awesome wargaming video. Today we're going to be talking about Shadowspear. Now, I've done an introductory video on Shadowspear already, talking about some of the Marines and stuff like that. When it was first announced, okay, some of the new Marines, I've had a look at the trailer and everything. But today I just wanted to have a chat to you guys, really, just to talk about like some of the updates that are coming, what I think might be coming on the channel as well, like in terms of new units and everything. Some of the stuff that we've seen coming so far. There's a lot of news up there already, so I'm not going to go through in detail and like outline every single little thing with you. But what I will do is I'll just go through, give my opinion on some of it. And I'll also have a look to just tell you what I think might be coming as well, like inside the box as well, in the Shadowspear box, and what might be heading up. So, yeah, so the other thing is, guys, I just been doing that Panther. So, basically, I got this new set of paints today, which I just wanted to share with you guys. It's another German camo set. Now, this can be used for, like, any sort of, like, you know, Imperial Guard, even Dark Angel, any tanks, really. Because there's a lot of greens in there as well. But look, I'm not gonna go full on into it. I'm just gonna show you that like really quickly, because it's really awesome. And I might do another video for this. Okay, you've also got like whites for interiors and stuff like that as well, which is really cool. I'll do another video on it as well. So it's been alright. So yeah. So everybody, look, congratulations to the winners of our last prize draw as well. It's been really awesome, and I've started to get everybody's stuff in the email now, so I'm just waiting on Shinny Boy to get me send me a follow-up email there, mate. And once that's all done, then I'll start processing them and send, you know, get the vouchers happening for everyone and everything like that. It's just yeah, it's better when I just go through and do the competition, the giveaway prizes all at once. That way I could just do them all in one hit. And I don't have to, like, you know, come back, do something, miss someone. All right, so you know, so it's just easier like that. Okay, so probably by Wednesday I should have all that stuff sorted, and it should be good. So that's pretty awesome, and yeah, and you know, we've got to just refine the tutorial process a bit, but that's cool. And we'll definitely be going through and finishing off that Alpha Legion stuff. I'm going to work on that this week, so Locke's put in a request in for that. And I'll have a go at doing some of that Alpha Legion stuff next week, which is really cool as well. So, yeah, it's really fantastic. And Ben Dact would probably like to know that I've had to stop drinking Pepsi because, yeah, like I read an article from the US basically saying that, like, people who consume 2 cans of Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke per day are 16% higher risk of having heart attacks and stroke. So it's American University, guys, so it has to be true. You know, so I'm just going to stop drinking it. So you've noticed here that I'm on Mount Franklin spring water now, lime water, and not Coke or Pepsi or anything like that. So all good. So yeah. All right, fantastic, everybody. And I'd just like to talk about also, so just before we just get into the meat and potatoes here of the Storm Spear, I just also like to talk about the next prize draw. So the next prize draw will be at 700 subscribers. Now, I'm going to be working very, very hard to get us to 700 subscribers over the next 2-3 weeks. So if you guys want to give us a hand, you know, like, you know, get your friends on there, you know, like, share, subscribe. You know, if you've got any spare YouTube accounts lying around, maybe subscribe them. I'm basically going to be going through and doing that. And what I'm going to do is I want to try to pump the subscribers to 700 so we can have a draw in time for Shadowspear, right? So what I want to do is talking to Only Adonis, and what he was saying is we might be able to put together like a box set of Shadowspear. And I'm thinking about, because I'm going to buy like probably 2 boxes for myself, but then what I might do, I might buy a box of Shadowspear, and I'll either give away a box of Shadowspear, or what I'll do is I will basically buy a box of Shadowspear, and then what we'll do is I'm thinking we'll have a roll off like we usually do, but we'll divide the box up so like each winner can like pick a unit. You know, so like, and whoever gets rolled on first on the prize draw can then pick first. So, for example, let's say it's Sergeant Telion on the Shadowspear box. Whoever rolls first on the dice basically will get first pick of the box, so they can pick Telion and draw it out like that. So that's what I'm thinking so far, but we'll have to see how we go. It really all depends on if we can get to 700 subs or not, and that will be awesome. I think we can. I don't think it's a big deal because, as I said, I'm going to be working very hard to do it. Now, the other thing is as well with that is I want to get this painting competition going as well. So I don't know if you remember, but back in the holidays, we were talking about doing a painting competition. Now, things got pretty hectic with Games Workshop releases. Also, like, I've just started another 2 new jobs and stuff and all this stuff. So I don't know if we didn't end up going forward with that. But I still want to go forward with it now, and I want to put that together. So stay tuned for the channel of that. And I think Shadowspear and Vigilus will still keep with the same theme, but we'll basically go through and we'll just make it maybe a Shadowspear or a Vigilus diorama or something like that. It's up to you. So I know a lot of the people there, Adam Fox, Daz, Lions Pride, everyone, heaps of other people. You've been sending me minis, you've been painting. Also, Sir Tobaggans, also, you've been sending me stuff. I know a lot of people have been sending me stuff, guys. And I'm going to put some on the channel this week on the community feature. But you guys can still continue to work on those, submit those if you want. That's absolutely no problem at all for the painting competition. But I'll be honest, I'm actually really enjoying these competitions. I like hosting them, and I like rolling the dice to see who wins. So I'm thinking I really want to start, putting some more competitions together for you guys, because I get a lot of enjoyment out of it as well. So and then one day, if I sell a shirt for the channel for $1 or something, I might be able to claim it on tax. So, that's pretty cool too. Bit of a bonus, but whatever. But, it's just fun to do. So it'd be pretty cool. So, all right, everybody. So let's go through now and have a chat about Shadowspear. And we're going to talk about stuff that's just come out, and we'll talk about what stuff I might think is going to come into the fray. So I guess we'll start off our analysis by having a look at this trailer. So we'll just have a look at this trailer, see how it is. So I mean, the first thing that we've got here, right? Now I don't know if there's audio coming out, everybody, but I'm not really too concerned about the audio here. I'll link the trailer in the comments down below so you can have a look at it for yourself. What I'm really looking at here is basically just artwork, just pulling stuff out of the artwork as well, okay? So the first thing, okay, we've got this new Librarian here, all right? Now this new Librarian is basically spearheading these scouts apparently, and these scouts here, we still haven't had any confirmation if this is indeed Sergeant Telion, but I still believe it is, because I've gone through and I've had a look and compared the models, and I've actually gone through, compared the models, had a look at Sergeant Telion's model, had a look at this guy's model, and they are virtually identical in both ways, okay? They both have, special shoulder pads on each side. They both have the same beard. They both have the same, monocle. All right, they both have the same kind of, regal around their chest. They both have capes. It's just, it goes on and on and on, everybody. And now, the thing is that, I heard a lot of reports, people saying that, oh, yeah, but Steve, Games Workshop wouldn't put a named character like that in a box set, and that's not at first I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of true. They might not do that, but here's the thing, they actually have in the past. I can't remember his name right now, but that Space Wolf guy, the Space Wolf Primaris captain, the guy with the axe, the special model, he was a named character. Right? He was a named character. So there's absolutely, he was a lesser named character, but he was still a named character, right? So it would make sense to me that, they could definitely put Sergeant Telion in this box, right? And it would actually make sense a lot, okay? Because rumors have it that Abaddon is getting a bodyguard as well. We know Abaddon is coming. But what I reckon will be in this box to start with, I reckon they're going to have like a sub-commander, right, in the box for each faction. So I reckon the sub-commander will obviously be the Librarian, but also be Telion. And I reckon for the Black Legion in the Stormspear box, I reckon that the commanders, you'll have like a Terminator Lord, like Abaddon's and some Abaddon's bodyguard. And I reckon that's going to be like the HQ sort of section for the actual box set, right? So if we actually go back and we have a look at some of the other primary releases around this time, I mean, the closest one that I can sort of compare this to would be the Dark Imperium box set, right? And if you kind of remember around that time, we had like another box set release before that, and it's kind of like, you know, the box set will release, you had the, you know, the captain in Gravis armor, okay, and then you had that lesser commander with the Blight Lord. I can't remember what his name was now, but it was the Death Guard, not the Tallyman. I think Tallyman was one of them. But it wasn't, I think it was just a standard Lord of Contagion. It was just like one of the captains. But anyway, the point of the matter is you had like sub-commanders in that box. So, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if this Stormspear box would go the same route. Now, a lot of people have also been saying that like Abaddon is going to be rocking up into the box set. Like he's going to be actually in the box. I do not believe this will be the case. And the reason is because there's some people that like are just going to want the Abaddon model. And Abaddon is a big enough release on its own for Games Workshop to just basically go through there and just release him as a standalone, right? And the other thing is too, if people are going to buy a 10 box of this stuff, you know, they're not going to like incorporate Abaddon into the value because he's not the kind of thing you can just reuse. I mean, yeah, you can resell him, but, you know, or paint him up or do conversions, but there's only so much of that stuff that you can do. Now, I've heard of people going around and, you know, they want to buy like 10 boxes of this stuff. So, you know, I mean, yeah, I don't think so. I think it's going to be the whole Guilliman Dark Imperium stuff, right? Where Guilliman, if anything, they will release Abaddon with like a triarch or a triage or like whatever you call it. I can't remember the word now. A triumphant or whatever of basically with 3 characters. They'll either have him in his own little box or they'll have him in a box with his bodyguard. All right, I can't see, kind of like with Primaris. All right, so kind of like with Primaris. So with Calgar, they basically had him, you know, separate as a separate buy with his 2 bodyguard, and it would make sense for Abaddon to come in with his bodyguard. And I think that his bodyguard will actually be Terminator Lords, right? Now, there are pictures floating around the internet which could kind of give a little bit of a hint to this, and I'll go through that later in the video. All right, but there is definitely evidence there, and there is definitely evidence popping up in the rumor mill leaks as well. All right, so personally, what I reckon that in the Stormspear box, just the box set itself, you're going to get the Librarian character. You're going to get Sergeant Telion, right? That's going to be kind of like your Captain Lieutenant combo, right? Then you're going to get your Eliminators, all right? You're going to get maybe 5 Eliminators or something. And then you go through, you're going to have your Vanguard Marines. So you're probably going to get like 10 of those or something like that. Okay. Or even 5 of those. 10's a little bit generous. Then you will go through and then you will get a 5 of those new heavy troopers, those jump pack troopers, which I'll, when we move the video forward, I'll talk a little bit more about them. And then here's the thing. I reckon we're going to get a Primaris transport. All right. Now, we've seen rumors of like in the rumor engine, okay, I'll see if I can get it popping up on the screen here. Okay, basically of the back of what looks like some kind of like repulsor UFO craft thing. And like I said, I'll put it through in the video after and I'll show you that. But from what I can make of it, I don't think it's going to be like a Rhino. A lot of people saying, oh, it's going to be like a Rhino. I don't think it is, because I don't think they're going to make it so easy to carry Marines into the fray anymore, because otherwise tacticals are going to be completely out, right? And yes, I do think this is now the end of tactical Marines, and the reason is because they've completely got replaced. Scouts, Vanguard, heavy weapons, you know, the number's up for these guys, okay? I'm cool with that though, all right? I'm digging these models. Games Workshop have done it in the right way, but it doesn't make sense for, like, you know, normal Space Marine tacticals to be like this big, and then you got these other guys running around that big. I want true scale Marines, okay? That's the way I want it. But what I think the Primaris transport is going to be, judging by the rumor engine, judging by, like, just as a game designer, as a professional myself, what I would do, and I would go through and I would have it more as a skimmer. Okay, so everybody knows about the Landspeeder Storm, how holds 5 Marines, and it basically, you know, skims around, and it will drop, you know, it can drop little pockets of 5 scouts at locations and stuff like that, kind of like move ahead, okay? That is what I think we're getting. I think we're getting an equivalent of the Landspeeder Storm, but as a Primaris skimmer. Now, the other thing is, again, because of the design aesthetic. So you all know I'm a computer game artist, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So I've studied a lot into this kind of stuff. I've worked in the games industry for a while. And basically, if you have a look at the design of the skimmer, or what we think is a skimmer in the rumor engine, it's basically very rounded. Okay, like, and that's the difference. The Landspeeder Storm, it follows the same cubical, boxy design that the normal Landspeeder, the normal sort of like, you know, post 3rd edition Landspeeder follow, okay? And a very sort of like boxy sort of mix of that Star Wars Landspeeder, all right? But this Landspeeder, it almost looks very spherical, and it follows a lot of the design principles with the Primaris masks. If you look at the Primaris masks, they are a lot more rounded off, okay, and a lot more, you know, the Primaris Marines are a lot more rounded off in areas than the tactical Marines, and I believe it follows that design aesthetic a little bit. So I think we're going to be getting some little hovercraft thing. It's basically going to be just a speeder for tactical Marines. It might even be, Primaris Vanguard. It might even be for Chaos guys. It might even, I might be completely off bat here. It may even be a speeder for Chaos, but I don't think so. And the reason is because we're still getting that Venom Crawler. I think that's what it's called. I just call it the Spider Mech or whatever. We're getting that Spider Crawler. So I think that might be enough for Chaos. So that we'll add it on. Now for the Chaos side of things, so we're definitely getting, we know that we're getting some Chaos Legionnaires. Right, we know that they could take heavy weapons now. Not heavy weapons. We have heavy weapons because we saw the heavy bolter in a rumor engine picture, and but we also know that we're going to be getting what do you call them? So like obliterators. So new obliterators. Okay, I think we're probably going to get 3 of those in the box, right? And I also think we're going to be getting some Terminators possibly, but they might just come in with Abaddon in a different box. But I reckon we're going to be getting some. Black Legionary flyers, right? So we're going to be getting some Black Legionary flyers. There's been a rumor engine picture of one of the flyers with some feet there, and we've also got wings coming out of them as well. So there's been old artwork. Yeah, I know. Okay, all right. Oh yeah, but Steve, just because it's in the artwork doesn't. Guys, I'm sorry, but it looks to me that that's exactly what's happening, because heaps of the stuff, even if it's not in the artwork like right now, it may come in later, right? It may come up in the artwork later. Games Workshop will have all these designs, right? They'll send them out to the artists. Like a lot of, from what I know, from what I've been told by industry insiders, and they're pretty inside, is that Games Workshop has all this stuff planned like years before. Right, so, and I mean, it's the same with films and that, right? You have like a release schedule. With computer game development, it's like, you know, the trick is to making a game not on what's popular now, but predicting what's going to be popular in a couple of years ahead, right? And that would also be evident in their new marketing department. I'm pretty sure they got some new marketing people in. That's why we're getting all this Tintin Warhammer Adventure stuff. I'm not going there, guys. I'm not going there in this video. I'll go in there in another video. I'm not going to digress, but that's basically what I think we're. So that's what I reckon will be in the Stormsphere box. Okay, that's basically what I reckon will be in there. And I reckon you're going to get your dice, you're going to get some data sheets and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think it's going to, I don't think we're going to be getting a new rule book or anything like that in this. But I do think, and I've heard rumors that there is a Space Marine Codex Mark II coming out. And we should be getting it in 2019. So, guys, and the thing is, that comes from Spiky Bits, and, like, good on them, but I just don't believe much of what I hear about on Spiky Bits. I'm very sorry. I like all the guys from there. I do watch his stuff, but, you know, when I click on the website and it pops up with 30 ads rocking up in my face, yeah, and plus, you guys, they talk a lot of crap. They'd say good things, but they also talk a lot of crap. So I'm sorry, I don't want to put stuff on, crap on other YouTubers, but as a subscriber of that channel, I feel as though you're up for scrutiny. Anyway, so, but look, I saw it in on there, and there is a lot of credit to it because they did make a good point. Spiky Bits did make a good point, and that is that, was it Spiky Bits or Bell of Lost Souls? I can't remember now. Anyway, one of those two channels, it's both rumor mill guys, so, you know, it's all clickbait from both those sources as far as I'm concerned. I'm very sorry, I don't want to offend anyone. But if you don't like it, kind of pick up your stuff, guys, you know. I'm just a viewer, so I'm just giving you my feedback. Yeah, I'm not the first one to state it, okay? Yeah. So, you know, so the Bell of Lost Souls, Spiky Bits, whoever it was, basically said it, and they were true about one fact, and that is that re-releasing a Primaris Codex or a new Space Marine Codex would be in line of the kind of stuff that Games Workshop have done in the future. However, there is no proof of this, there is no clickbait on this or anything like that, so that's just a theory right now. Take it with a bucket of salt, okay? And as I said, I've gotten it from Spiky Bits or Bell of Lost Souls, either of the way. You know, I have my question marks as to the legitimacy of the claims on both those sources. I'm a subscriber of both, so I'm a customer in my eyes. That's just my 20 cents on it, okay? All right, cool. So let's move on with this, and I'll talk about this a little bit more. So once again, we don't really need audio. I'm going to stop it right here. So here is this another piece of artwork, right? So apparently this is like the Flesh Forge or something like that. And apparently all this stuff in this Stormspear is going on. It's like a Vigilus prequel. So apparently this librarian guy, I can't remember his name, guys. I think it's Mortinus or something like that. It's Vale Mortinus or something like that. I should have wrote it down. I do apologize, everybody. Just let me know in the comments. If someone could just comment down below and just let me know what the name of that librarian is in there. Let everybody know. That'd be awesome. So, yeah, so he rocked up with his scouts, apparently. That's a storyline so far. And I take it that's him there in the background. Probably with what I believe to be Telly on there. He's got the cape and, you know, his sort of command entourage. And then you got some Vanguard, what I believe to be Primaris Vanguards coming up on the channel. And they're basically invading this Flesh Forge thing. Now, the Flesh Forge, I don't know, it may have been officially revealed what it is in a Black Library book or something like that. But what I would envision the Flesh Forge to be, and let me know if this has been confirmed or not, but I'm just taking a guess. I'm probably right, because, you know, it's Warhammer. But I reckon it's some kind of, like, you know, sort of factory where they're creating Chaos Space Marines out of, like, captives and slaves. Maybe the civilian, you know, sort of, you know, location, civilian, you know, population. Could also be some kind of, like, you know, heretical cloning, that where they have those little babies and stuff like that, and they're doing experiments, because I know that, you know, they were doing experiments on the Chaos Marines there. Was it Fabius Bile? I think it was Fabius Bile. Yeah, that was Emperor Children's, though. This is Black Legion. So I think, like, you know, Emperor Legion has got its own thing. Maybe they've got their own new sort of mad scientist that's going through and you know, because there's Black Legion. Well, here's the thing. The Black Legionaries had to have come from somewhere, correct? So, you know, they're steroided up, beefy Primaris, Black Legion, Chaos Marines. So this is probably their manufactorum, how they're making them, right? Whereas, like, you know, Gilliman and Call and all that, they're all, you know, in the cloning vats doing it nice in the name of science, and Chaos are just out there. Okay, we're going to have our own factory now. It's going to be brutal. You know, we're going to take all these babies and that, and from captured civilians, or, you know, maybe sort of like captured Marines, and we're going to go through and we're going to basically, you know, turn them into like Black Legion and stuff like that. Black Legionaries, all right? Super Space Marines. So, Chaos Space Marines. So, yeah, so it's a heavy. You've got a guy, he's sort of like, it's pretty much confirmed these guys can fly, in my opinion. The hints are there, everybody. The wings on their jetpacks, which are the same as the Reaver jetpacks, which are the same as the Inceptors. Congratulations to Jonathan Hanna, which just won a pack on our latest giveaway. But also we've basically got these fins here on the legs, which are pretty fantastic as well, and all that. So yeah, and so they're definitely flying. They're definitely coming in down there and everything like that. So they're sort of like insurgent heavy weapons teams. I mean, it's got to be heavy weapons. Now, there's been some speculation as to what this heavy weapon actually is. Now, people are saying it's an autocannon, and I do agree with that, because you do have this ammo belt here. So I believe it most likely is like a handheld projectile weapon, something like an autocannon, or a heavy stubber, like a mobile heavy stubber or something like that, which is pretty much like a autocannon anyway. But look, I'm not ruling out the fact that it may be some kind of energy weapon. I think it's an autocannon. It's just the ammo feed is a dead giveaway. But that's basically what it is. And I'm thinking that, like, yeah, but I'm not ruling out it's like some kind of like lesser las cannon or something like that. Because the problem I'm having here is, guys, is that they're kind of, by doing this, they're deleting like all units that aren't Primaris. Like, these guys are going to be pretty uber. Like, if these guys can drop in and they can just start shooting autocannon shots at, like, you know, at the enemy, you know, just up there close, it's kind of like, well, you know, it's brutal. So I really hope Chaos are going to really have to have some brutal stuff, people, you know, to counter this kind of stuff. Like, with the Bolter special rule as well, the new beta rule, you can check out my video on that. It basically just means that everything is just getting rapid fire if they don't move, or if they're Terminators or Bikers, or anything like that. But I suppose Chaos get that as well, so it's not a big deal. So I'll move on from that one. I mean, check out his mask here. It's looking pretty cool. I do like the design of these guys. I wasn't too massive on the helmet at first, but it's definitely growing on me. And the other thing to notice is they've got the same kind of like spaceman boots that the Inceptors have. So look, these guys are pretty much like heavy weapons Inceptors. That's the way I see them. And I'm hoping, even though I'm a Space Marine player, so I don't give a crap if they don't, but I'd imagine these guys that have, you know, +1 to the hit roll without machine spirit, or maybe some kind of debuff in that area. Because otherwise, these guys are going to be mad OP. And I'm telling you now, like, it's a fantastic time to be Marines, that's for sure. So we're just going to go through. I'm just going to go through, play a little bit more of this. And some nice After Effects stuff going on there. I like these little animatics. They're pretty cool. So, guys, once again, this is my narrative, my director's commentary. If you want to hear the actual trailer, then just head over to the Warhammer community webpage. I'll put a link below. All right, as per usual. All right, so fantastic. All right, so let's have a look, and let's actually have a look at some of the Chaos stuff now. I'll just talk a little bit about some of the Chaos stuff. Just before we do, I just had a thought just as I was grabbing some images. So I was just thinking, guys, like the whole word Shadowspear. What if the Shadowspear is the name of the new Primaris transport? It makes sense. Shadow, it's fast, it may have stealth capabilities. Maybe that's why it's rounded, okay? And it's a spear, you know, it attacks, it goes in there and it basically pincers in to the lines, right? The enemy lines. So there's a food for thought, everybody. Shadowspear, a fast attack vehicle. Maybe it's a new unit. Maybe the fluff is going to revolve around, like this whole box set is going to revolve around this new unit. You know, I don't know, just kind of like a random thought I had, everybody. So here we have some of the heavy weapons. So the rumor mill stuff. Now, I'm pretty sure that's safe to say that this is chaos. All right. And we also have the demon engines. So here we got this claw. Now we know what this is. This is kind of like some sort of like mutated obliterator. Okay, we've seen that claw on one of the arms on one of the obliterators. We've got this foot here. This is the foot here that I reckon is one of the bat creature's feet. And this backpack here, I think, could either belong to, it could be anyone really, but I think it could either belong to one of the flying bat dudes, which some people are actually calling Havocs. They're saying that they're new Havocs, or it could be a part of the Terminators. We really don't know thus far. All right. Now, I don't actually have a picture of that image from the rumor engine, which I believe is part of a Primaris transport. But I'll see if I can chuck it in the comments down below. If you have a link to that, please, guys, chuck it in the comments down below. Would be awesome. All right, I've just got some of the artwork here. I've just turned my video off the screen just so I'm not clipping anything off, because it's obviously very important that you see all this. So here we have in this artwork, we can see these eliminators. We can see here that the black legionaries, a lot of them have like pistols, which also heavy weapons and stuff like that. You got the Blitz down here. This guy looks amazing. This could actually be maybe like a Terminator. I don't know. It's interesting. Okay, but there's the claw from the rumor engine, and there's Telion. I still maintain that that's Telion. Okay, now just moving forward in the lineup, that's old, but there you've got that Spider Walker. That's just to reiterate on my points from before that. Yeah, very well indeed. Stuff that turns up in the Games Workshop art is most likely to rock up in the actual game as a model. All right, so you can see here you've got a Chaos Legionary with an axe, which we now know they could take axes from the photo. Now this is the one I want to show you. This is from the Urban Conquest box, okay, and City Fighting Campaigns, and you can see here we've got more Black Legionaries here, both with axes, right, melee weapons. We see we've got some kind of commander in the background. And I reckon in the background here, if you look really, really close, I reckon I could see a silhouette of a kind of a Landspeeder or something like that rocking up. Now, I don't know if anyone else has ever seen that yet, but there's like it looks to me like there's a Landspeeder in the background there. Possibly. Kind of what looks like the silhouette, right? Anyway, over here, we have a Terminator. This looks like a Black Legion Terminator. I believe this is the latest surprise we're coming in the box. He's holding some kind of like fire trident or something, which I reckon looks absolutely brutal. And it'd be awesome if that was like a trident. But I don't know. It could be like just some kind of flaming sort of stick or whatever. It's just hard to tell from here. But that's definitely Terminator armor, everybody. You can see from the back. This might be the bodyguard for Abaddon. We really don't know yet, or some hero characters of these guys, okay? And scrolling along here, we've got this piece of artwork here, all right, which is basically taken from the Blood Angels Codex, the new one, 8th edition. And basically, so you could see here that you've got Black Legionaries here with wings, right? And if you zoom in close, you can literally see that this guy here has a foot silhouette that is extremely reminiscent to that of the miniature foot that we saw in the rumor engine pictures. Now again, we've got some kind of flying thing up here that could be, I think they're Storm Ravens actually. I don't want to blow it off, but I'm always just looking around the background now because their artworks are literally like Where's Wally now. You've really got to look. You've really got to have a look at their artworks because they certainly are hiding stuff in the artwork. So, and you can see here you've got, you know, the Inceptors coming in, Blood Angels, Inceptors. There's Black Legionaries rocking up with wings, which I believe people are saying are Havocs, all right? Now, it's very interesting. It's very interesting to note as well that on the rumored release schedule for all this stuff, remember, it was rumored that Black Legion was actually meant to be coming out mid last year, right? It actually was in the production line with everything else around about a couple of months after Games Workshop, you know, released the Blood Angels Codex. So I reckon all this stuff has been here all along, guys. Right? I reckon it's all been there. They've all had, I reckon these minis were done. I reckon they just switched some release scheduling around a bit. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they were just looking at what's doing well, what they needed to do, what the community was after. Maybe they were planning to release a Fulgrim at the end of the year. And then it said, oh, nah, let's push it back a little bit, guys. Let's, you know, let's give them these Black Legions instead. And I reckon, you know, that's basically what might have happened there. So just to recap on some of the stuff for Black Legion, all right? So, all right, everybody. So, look, I'm going to probably end the video here. I've hoped you liked this breakdown and my thoughts on what I reckon's going on. Some of this stuff's already been covered, but like I said, I like to add my opinion to it. I like to talk about, you know, what I think is correct and what I think is not correct. I'm not one of the kind of guys who like just rocks up and, you know, wants to just, you know, talk about whatever's going on and start making wild claims and, you know, oh my goodness, you know, there's a new hat there and, you know, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to make a video around, oh, there's a new Landspeeder coming out, you know, based off a little silhouette in the background. Okay. But look, certainly, like I said, I've been pretty correct about most things so far in regards to a lot of this stuff. So yeah, like more correct than I have been wrong. Okay, so all right, everybody, look, thank you all to my subscribers, and thank you for watching just the same. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel. Click the little red subscribe button down there, and then you can also click the little bell notification icon down below. I'm Steve, Command Centre Wargaming. It's been awesome, as we always, and I'll catch us all in the next video.